What is going on, everybody, and welcome to something a little bit different from me today. Normally, of course, I'm putting FIFA and all that kind of stuff out there, but as you, I'm sure, well know, E3 has been going on for the start of this week. All the big companies have had their press conference. We've had the Microsoft, the Sony and the Nintendo. I just thought I'd run down the top 5 games that have got me hyped up the most. I will point out now, any of the trailers that you're seeing in the video, because you'll see snippets of them, I will put the links down in the description below so you can watch the whole thing. Also, I should mention, there's no Nintendo in here because I'm not really I used to be a big Nintendo player when I was a bit younger, but not so much anymore. So if you're interested in Nintendo, I'd go and look somewhere else because this is mainly going to be Sony and Microsoft. But at number 5, I should also say we will look at FIFA as well, but that'll be the last thing we look at. But let's not go there yet. Let's not even go there. Number 5, though, we're going to kick things off. I've got my little list written down here with all my bits of information. I don't think you can see that. There we go. And we're going to be started off with Uncharted 4. Now, Uncharted is a huge game, one of the biggest pulls on the PlayStation, and has been for the last probably 3 or 4 years now, I'd like to say. And this one, once again, he's looking absolutely exceptional. Again, you're controlling Nathan Drake, and to me, the easiest way to explain it to somebody who's never played Uncharted before, it's very similar to Tomb Raider, but a little bit better, and obviously you're playing a male lead character rather than a female. The game is created by Naughty Dog, a company that have done many big games, successful games over the last few years, and the standout features, forgive me if I'm looking down like I was reading off my little notepad. It's obviously a PlayStation exclusive, you're not going to get it anywhere else, unfortunately for us Xbox users. The things that seem to be really big to push this time, you'll see from the gameplay, there was a lot of destructible cover being shown off where like you'll be hiding behind something and it can be completely destroyed. There's a couple of examples where Nathan Drake was throwing enemies into things and they were destroying. Of course, there's the scene that you might be seeing on the screen now where they're bombing down the hill in a massive truck, everything's just been blown apart as they're flying down the hill, all that kind of good stuff. This game, unfortunately, though, isn't going to be released till 2016. It's not going to be a Christmas release this year. Obviously, when E3 goes down, not most of the games, a lot of the games will tend to be being released for this Christmas, this fall, all I'm going to say, 'cause it's American, obviously. But that's number 5 on the list, Uncharted, looking fantastic. Like I said, it's a shame it's a PS exclusive, but it's one of the reasons I will eventually get a PlayStation games like that, because it looks absolutely incredible. Coming in at number 4 is going to be The Division. This game, I'm pleased to say, is on all consoles. I believe it's on PlayStation, Xbox and PC. This one created by Ubisoft, a classic Tom Clancy looking game. This game got announced last year. I don't know if it was at E3 or it was at some big conference, and from the moment it got announced, it has just blown me away with how good it looks. It's basically you and a few mates. It doesn't have to be mates. I'm assuming there's going to be computed as well, but the main thing that makes it look appealing is it's like co-op, you and a few mates. I think it's up to 4 or 5 of you in a little crew. It's post-apocalyptic, and you're basically going around New York trying to survive, get loot, and save the city. There's been some big nuclear warfare thing going on, I think. It's definitely some sort of warfare, I'm sure that's mentioned in the trailer, but it just looks so good. The gameplay looks fantastic, and like I say, you're just working together, trying to sort of get the loot, build yourself up, and then save the city. Like I say, it's pretty hard to explain actually. I don't know if I'm making a meal out of this right now, but watch the trailer. Like I say, looks absolutely incredible, and they did push a lot of the multiplayer in this trailer as well. In this E3, there's showed the Dark Zone area, which appears to be an area where you can get the most loot, but you are liable because it's a big open world. You can run into other groups of human players as well. In on the video, they go into the Dark Zone. There's a group of human players in the middle that are by this loot. They're going to go and take them down. Then another group of human players coming behind them and end up working together. And I'm not going to spoil anything. You can watch the trailer, but it just looks absolutely superb. The possibilities in that game are absolutely like infinite of how much fun that can be had there and how many different scenarios can pan out. That was number 4. Going into number 3, a game again since it first got announced I've been so hyped about, and that is Star Wars Battlefront again. It's an EA game, this one. It got announced a long time ago and everyone like myself has been so excited for it. It looks like basically if you put Star Wars and Battlefield together, that is pretty much what you're going to get, I think, by the looks of it. It looks absolutely incredible. They showed off some story mode, they showed off some multiplayer, lots of regular sort of Call of Duty style multiplayer that you'd expect to see, and it just looks amazing. They also showed off a new game mode. It's not a new game mode, but it's a game mode that I didn't know about on the game before, and that was like, I don't want to call it zombies, but it's a wave-based game mode where you and your friends sort of protecting yourselves from waves of stormtroopers and all that kind of stuff and trying to defend an area, and then after there's so many waves you basically shield them off and you complete it. It's very similar to, I think it was called Horde in Gears of War, the old Gears of War games. New Gears of War got announced as well, which is pretty exciting. Not making the top 5, but looking pretty sweet. But yeah, it's a bit like the old Horde game modes on Gears of War. It looks really cool, and like I said, the game in general looks beautiful. It's Star Wars, so what's not to love? Big Star Wars fan myself, and it just looks like it's going to be a great game. That came in at number 3. Number 2, a game that I am so excited for. This came completely out the blue. I don't know when it's going to come out. I don't know if they announced that. If they did, I missed it. Basically, Need for Speed, a franchise that I'm sure you'll all be very familiar with, and I haven't really played a Need for Speed game and loved it for a long time. I say a long time, it's probably 3 or 4 years. Most Wanted was absolutely exceptional. That was the last amazing one I can remember. And then, of course, before that, you had the Underground series, which everybody absolutely adored. And I was on Twitter at the time of E3, tweeting stuff out, my thoughts as it was going on. And as Need for Speed came up on the screen, I sort of tweeted out saying, if it's not going to be Underground 3, not interested, Need for Speed's lost its appeal for me. And then, lo and behold, this pretty much looks like it's going to be an Underground 3. It's going to have customization. It looks like it's going to be street racing based. It looks like it's going to be free roam, like a big open world. It's absolutely everything that a Need for Speed game should be. So I really cannot wait for this game. Make sure you watch that trailer, because like I say, if you love the old Need for Speeds, like your Undergrounds and all that kind of stuff, your Most Wanted, it looks like it's going back to its roots. And it looks like it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Really cannot wait for that. But coming in at number 1 in my top 5 countdown, for a lot of people, they are so hyped about this game. It looks absolutely incredible, and that has got to be Fallout 4. This game, it's been in the works for so long from Bethesda Studios. It's been sort of kept under wraps. Everyone was predicting there was going to be an announcement for this E3, and my god, it's just absolutely blown everybody away. There was a little teaser trailer that was released. I think it was probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks before E3, so everybody knew that there was going to be like a Fallout 4. That was pretty much confirmed. But how much they showed us, it just blew me away. I mean, they showed us the character customization at the start, which looked absolutely phenomenal. They showed parts at the beginning of the story mode. The graphics look phenomenal. I mean, Fallout is a fantastic franchise anyway, and they're so massive, the games are, and this game's going to be no exception, I don't think. New Vegas, for a lot of people, wasn't as good as 3, and that was a bit of a low to the series, but I really think this is going to take it back up there again. It showed off weapon customization, where you can literally like get parts and scraps and build your own weapons, which looked incredible. It showed you can basically rebuild the areas how you see fit. So if there's an area that's torn down, worn down, you can start building it all up again. Add defences, people will come and settle in your town, all that kind of stuff. You can add, like I said, defences to protect it from the marauders. I think they're called marauders in Fallout. I can't remember, it's been so long since I played it. But like, it's so cool, the idea of just setting up your own mini civilization in the game. That's going to be phenomenal. And like I say, the game, they've launched a, well, they've announced, I should say, a special edition where you got like this Pip-Boy feature, which they've done a Fallout where they've had a special edition with the Pip-Boy before, but in this one you can slide your smartphone into it and it can be used as an actual Pip-Boy in the game. It looks absolutely unreal, and like I say, this game has got me so excited. It's got loads and loads of people the same way. I mean, it was Bethesda's first ever E3 solo conference, I believe, and they absolutely nailed it. It looks, some of the games they've got coming out look absolutely incredible, and Fallout 4 just cannot wait for that game. Again, I can't remember if it's been announced when it's going to be released, but make sure you watch the trailer. The game looks absolutely phenomenal. But now we're going to come, I'll just put my pad down there, we're going to come to the one that you sort of associate me with a bit more, I suppose, and that is FIFA. Oh lads, I held out a lot of hope. I mean, the first thing I will say with FIFA and EA, when they tend to announce FIFA Ultimate Team details, it doesn't tend to be until Gamescom, which is later in the year at Germany. So I didn't expect to see too much on that front, but they literally showed no Ultimate Team whatsoever. They had 3 main features that they spoke about. One was basically better defending, and we all know when EA mentioned that stuff's going to be better, it's normally worse in the game, like the goalkeepers this year. They spoke about moments of magic. Who knows what that is? I mean, it's like they just use vague cliche terms trying to pass them off as features. I mean, I'm sure there will be features, but they could have just delved into them a bit more. I've had to read up on it a little bit myself. Watch Kazooie94, someone pointed me towards his channel, his video. He actually got to go to E3, I believe, and play the game firsthand. So check out his video on it. He explains it really well. There's things like RB and A is now going to be a forceful pass. So like, you know, every now and then you have a P-roller, that's going to be a pass that sort of puts a bit more fizz behind the ball, and that'll mean that when you're sort of playing into a tight space, it's more likely to come off. There was more talk about midfield dominance, how the players react better to sort of what the situation in the game, so they'll be able to stop counter-attacks better, all that kind of good stuff. Apparently shooting's been moulded a bit more to make it a little bit more realistic. They'll be able to move on the ball, because as we all know, there's been some crazy goals this year on FIFA with that dip on the ball, just absolutely ridiculous. And then the other big thing they spoke about was women in the game, which had just been announced like 2 weeks ago. It wasn't news at all. So on the whole, I must say I was really disappointed with FIFA. Like I said, I'll put the trailer in the description down below again. And the other thing, they had Pele on, which, you know, Pele is a freaking legend, icon of the game, no doubt about it, but they had him on talking for like 5 minutes of a 10-minute presentation, probably, I'd say it was. He was there talking about stories, which, you know, it was all well and good, but we want to see the freaking game. So, we've heard enough from you, Pele, sorry. Get on with the game, just tell us more, and it just, like, they really didn't tell us anywhere near as much as I was hoping for. Like I said, I was hoping for some Ultimate Team information, some career mode information. We got told absolutely nothing, just minimal gameplay features with vague explanations, and like I say, I really was hoping to find out more. They did, of course, as well, give everyone a loan Pele for 5 games on the Xbox and a loan Messi for 5 games on the PlayStation, which was pretty cool, but for me that was almost like a, you know, we know it's a bit shit, here's a Pele to keep you quiet, almost is how I see that, as ridiculous as that may sound. Like I said, I really wanted to see more from them, and I was massively disappointed. But that's going to bring the end of this video. Let me know what your thoughts on E3 were, sorry, and in particular FIFA, what you thought of the conference and all that kind of good stuff. Like I say, all the trailers for everything I mentioned will be down in the description below. I'm also going to put the links for the Nintendo, Sony and Microsoft full conferences. They'll be in the description below as well, so if you do want to go through and watch everything, because there's loads of more games that I haven't mentioned. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, there's a Gears of War coming out, there's a new Ghost Recon coming out, there's Batman, of course, which is coming out next week, which is really looking fantastic. So there's loads more games that I haven't mentioned. So the full conferences and the gameplay trailers to the ones I have mentioned all be in the description below. If you did enjoy the video, like I say, it'd be fantastic if you throw a like on it. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will speak to you all later on today, because of course we have got the new Team of the Week and new Team of the Season coming out, so I'll speak to you for the review of that. Need you out. What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the series that you all voted for. It is, of course, the Team of the Season, Kevin De Bruyne's Road to FIFA 16, my very first Road to Glory, the stuff you can see in the back